Hello students. Today I want to go over the use of Microsoft Office OneNote class notebook, something I think that we may have mentioned before, but I want to go through this from the beginning, and I want to show you how we plan to use this in teaching Chem Thermo this semester. Now I am using a Windows 10 computer. I use Google Chrome as my browser, so I think everything works there. I really don't know anything about Macs, but surely you can figure out your computers a lot better than I can. But the things that I'm going to show you today, I think are going to be generally true, that may have a little bit of a different look and feel for your computers, but I think this will be helpful to you. And once we get going with this is sort of new for me. I really would like your feedback on how to use this class notebook to make our teaching more effective and more efficient. So here we go. How do you get in? You all students have Office 365 accounts by virtue of being students. You probably already know how to log in and get it. But if you started from portal.office.com, okay, and you're logged into the network, then when I log in, I pick my account, and I think I'm already set up to log in automatically. You'd have to enter in your because I'm not set up automatically. Enter in your USC username and password. Okay, so something like this should show up with all the different Office 365 apps, and the one that you want here is Class Notebook. So I've already set up a notebook from the class, and I'm not sure how this will look to you, but you should be able to find a notebook that says ECHE 311 Fall 2020. So what you're seeing as I go through this is what I see as an instructor. Again, what you see may be a little bit different, but you want to open the notebook. Okay, so a welcome page comes up. Now, if you look down here, down the left side, again, this is a teacher view. Each one of you has a notebook, which is like a 3-ring binder. If you look at this little diagram here, I think of OneNote class notebook as a 3-ring binder with little individual tabs to separate out separate sections, and that's what you will have. So I can see the notebook for each student. You, however, will see only one notebook with your name on it. Now here are the other things that you would be able to see. There's a section called Collaboration Space. I'll come back to that later on. And then there's a section called Content Library. We're going to start there and look at the Content Library because I will do most of my work here. Briefly speaking, the Content Library is a place where I work. You can see everything that's there. You can copy everything that's there, but you cannot change the content library. I change the content library, but you see everything. So I will put all my class notes there, for instance, that I draw and write as we go through class. Now there's an area that's teacher only, obviously, that you won't see. That's basically a place for me to do scratch work and think about things. I might share something with my teaching assistant there. So you will not see teacher only. You will see collaboration space, content library, which is where most stuff will be, and then you'll see a class notebook. So let's go right here to content library. If you look at this little dark edge over here, that is a 3-ring binder. So there's a 3-ring binder with content library. If I open that up, there's a little tab here. So the blue thing is a tab that says using the content library, a little bit of instruction. Now, if I want to add additional tabs or additional dividers, as I've already done here, I'll go down to the bottom and add a section. And when you use your notebook, if you care to add tabs and sections and organize your material differently, you can do that as well. But I have already gone into the notebook and I've added a tab that says syllabus, schedule, and other information. So the syllabus and other things are also going to be in Blackboard if you care to access it there. But to me, I think it's going to be easier if you always can look at class notes, syllabus, homework assignments, and all that sort of thing right here in one platform, the class notebook. So I have added a section that says syllabus. And I hope I haven't lost my internet connection. It's just slow today, but it will show up. Okay, so here I am with a tab that says syllabus, schedule, and other information. I've gone into that section, and behind that tab, I can add pages. So all you have to do is click the plus page like this, and a new untitled page will show up. And if I want to move that page, I should be able to grab it and move it down. Or if I want to delete that page, I can delete it. Okay. But I added 3 pages, and here's what I've done. I had my syllabus. I made a PDF of the syllabus. And from my PDF application, I said, print to class notebook. Or another way to do it is to go to the top here and say insert. I can insert a file, and I can insert a file either as an attachment or just print out the whole thing. And for your sake, I'll insert my documents as a printout so you can see the entire thing. Okay. So, but under syllabus, the syllabus is 4 pages. So this is one long page. But you can scroll down here at any time and see the syllabus, the instructor, office hours, things about technology, the topics to be covered, how grading is going to be done, how homework is graded and weighted versus test, file naming conventions, how homework will be graded, attendance policy, all that stuff that we'll go over in class. So there it is. So you will either be able to log into Blackboard and find the course and click on it and look at the syllabus there, or maybe once you get used to it, find it here in the class notebook. I've also printed out the tentative schedule. This is based on last year. This is what I think we'll do every day. I just keep track of myself of what we actually do every day, so I'll know how much progress we make. And I've listed the likely days for exam 1 and exam 2 and exam 3. Okay, so you probably want to go ahead and mark these days on your calendar, subject to change. I also wrote up something about additional expectations. I have provided a different video for you about professional development and the things that I want you to gain from Thermo. And so this is the handout that went along with that. At the end of the semester, we'll do a course evaluation. So these are the course evaluation questions, if you want to know what those are. So those are all the things in the syllabus schedule and other information. And I may add other basic course information there. Most of the course, though, is outlined according to chapters in the book. So we'll cover chapters 6 through 10, probably chapter 12 and chapter 14. So as I go through, I'm going to make another tab divider, say, for instance, for chapter 6. And I have already put some information behind chapter 6. This is our review. It's our first learning outcome, and some other things about professional development. So in a separate video, I went over this ASWE concept map, but there it is for you. I went over Bloom's taxonomy, but there it is. And I'll go over some other things. What is a systematic approach for solving problems? That will be there for you. Some discussion of computing strategies, different sorts of data, review of mass balances, energy balances, entropy accounting, and then things that are in chapter 6. So all of these separate pages here are some of the details that I'll cover with you in chapter 6. Then I'll tell you how I lecture. So on every day of class, say August 20th, I'll make a few new pages for that day of class, and I'll put, for instance, August 20th, page 1 of notes, August 20th, page 2 of notes, August 20th, page 3 of notes, and then I tend to write with my tablet and my pen. And I may type in some information like this, but I'll also write. And you may recognize my handwriting from the other video that I did. But the nice thing about Class Notebook is whatever I write down, it's always there. It's not like I'm writing on a whiteboard or a chalkboard and then I have to erase it and it's gone forever. Whatever I write down in class stays here. You can always review your notes and compare them to my notes. And if I make a mistake in my notes, it's always very easy for me to go back, say with the draw pen, and draw something red. And I can put in here, and if I made a mistake, I can say, oh, students, go back and check your notes from August 20th about page 1. I made a mistake right here. Let's correct your notes. So that's one of the nice things I really like about Class Notebook and being able to use a pen. And I can very easily erase that. Okay, so you'll see this sort of thing. And page 2, I think I may have continued some notes here. And if I want to go back over my notes and highlight some things or make some other marks in class discussion, I have a colored pen that I can use to emphasize different things. By the way, I would recommend that if you're a fast note taker, bring some colored pens or pencils to class because sometimes color is useful. And then as we go through chapter 6, if we come back over here, I will just add additional pages. I'll put the date and the page number, and we'll just take class notes. And likewise, when we're through with chapter 6, we'll go to chapter 7. Don't have any notes there yet, but you can see I'll just add pages and I'll handwrite my notes. So with the notebook, you can always look at my notes quickly on any day, any page of notes. You can compare your notes. You can always go back and look at the syllabus, the course schedule, the learning outcomes, and that sort of thing. Now, so that's what I do, and this is what you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see everything in the content library, but not change it. Now, what else can we do with this? Each of you will have a notebook, and I'm just going to choose a person here. I'm going to choose Jeremy. This is his notebook, which only he and I and the TA can see. You can't see Jeremy's notebook. So I'm going to take his notebook, open it up. And Class Notebook comes preloaded with 4 tab dividers. There's a tab divider for quizzes, class notes, handout, and homework. If Jeremy or anybody else wants to add another section, you just click section. So for instance, I'll send you email about the class, and if you feel like you want to print out my emails and put them in your notebook, you could do that, and you could save emails, for instance. So I'll get rid of all this after, I think I probably didn't save that, but if you wanted to make a section again that said email, let me do that again. And enter that. And get rid of that, then I say okay. Oh, it says this section already has a section with email. It did. I think it will show up the next time I refresh the Class Notebook. It takes a little while for all of this to synchronize in the cloud, but at some point, Jeremy would have another tab that said emails, and you could print directly from your email app to the OneNote Class Note and get it loaded if you felt like that was good. So your section of the Class Notebook is for you. You can put a tab there, put whatever it is that you want to. Just keep in mind I can look at it. Okay. Now here's where I really think I want to use OneNote Class Notebook. What I want to do is ask everyone, whether you're meeting in person or remotely, to get a scanner app for your smartphone, scan your email, and upload it to this homework section. That's a little more work for you to scan it, but it's also going to save some work. Let me explain. It's always a lot of hassle to bring paper to class, and you have to staple it together, and you have to remember to hand it in at the end of the class, and I have to remember to ask for it. Then I have to take it. Then I have to go find the grader. And then the grader has to grade it. Then he has to come to me and he has to return it. Then I have to remember to take it to class. And I have to remember to take class time to return the homework. That's actually quite a bit of work. So what I think that we will be able to do by having you scan homework, if you forget your homework, at the due date, I'll say, sure, just upload it by the end of the day. And we will grade your homework in Class Notebook. We'll put marks on it. We'll put comments on it. I can even put in audio comments, and you'll have your graded homework with a grade on it right then and there, and you'll have a permanent record. So you can and probably should hold on to your paper copies of your homework that you make. But whatever you scan and upload and our marks on it, it will be permanently recorded in the cloud for your OneNote class notebook. And we won't have all the trouble of handing in paper, returning paper back and forth between the graders. Oh, I forgot to bring my homework. I've got to go see Dr. Matthews and slip it under his door, or all of that sort of hassle will be done away with. Okay, so let me just show you how that works. Here's what I would like students to do. So here's an untitled page. What I want students to do, we'll talk about this some more, is at the top of a page, and I'm sorry, I'm typing on a virtual keyboard here and it's a little bit awkward. And I don't know why it's doing that. But what I want you to do is type in something that says something like homework set 7. Okay? Now then. Now, let's say you have scanned your homework. You have it in a file where you can get to it and you can connect it to your computer. Okay? Now what we want to do is you will go and you will say insert a file, and you will insert a file printout, and it will ask you to choose a file, and you need to know where that is. And I have here an example scan of my homework, and I will open that. Then I will say insert, and I'll wait a minute. Hope your internet's a little faster than mine. Okay, and then your homework, a good scan, will appear. Now, I have an Android smartphone. I uploaded the OneDrive application for Android and use it to scan. It seems to work well with my online files for the university. But whatever smartphone you have, find a scanner that works, that makes a nice copy of your homework and makes a scan where you can upload it easily. So here, for instance, try to make a little bit more room here. Show only the pages. So here we are. So here is someone's homework. It's actually my homework solution. Now here's what I can do. I can draw on that with either my mouse or a tablet. And let's suppose things are going well. Either I or the grader can go down and say, yeah, that step is correct. And obviously I'm going to have to practice with my pen just a little bit, because I'm getting some things here that are a little bit strange. Okay. But I can go through and say, good, good. And if I find a mistake, I can say, oh, maybe there's a mistake. Now I can either write a note, I can write a comment. I don't have my keyboard here, but it's very easy for me or the grader to go out on the side, put in a little text block and write you a note, to type you a note. A typewritten note from us is going to be a lot easier to read than our messy handwriting. But here's the other thing I think that's going to be pretty neat about this. I can go to insert. Okay. I can insert. I want to come here. Again, I'm going to have to figure out how my tablet works. And evidently, I'm not going to be able to do it without a keyboard. Let me do it with the keyboard. Give me just a second to change over here. Okay. Now, what I can do with this is I can go to Insert. I can click over here somewhere. I don't want to insert a picture. Okay. Well, you're going to have to take my word for it. My computer's misbehaving a little bit today, but here's a little audio button. I think you can see that. Once everything is working properly, what I can do is I can insert a little audio comment and I can talk to you. And I can say, Jeremy, great job on homework problem 3, but problem 4, I see that you missed something. And we discussed this in class, and I want to tell you something about that homework, and I can do that, okay? So I'm sorry that this didn't work out for me to actually show you an audio recording, but I hope that you get the idea that somehow between my pen, typewriting, and audio comments, we'll be able to grade your homework directly there. We'll be able to give you feedback more immediately. Okay. Okay. Okay, there it was. Sorry, I have to practice a little bit more with this myself, but now I'm going to go ahead and do it. I can get out here and I can record an audio file. So I'm going to click and I can start talking to the student right now, and I can record an audio file, and it's recording whatever it is that I'm saying. Okay, and then in a moment I go up here and I stop, and I have just talked to you and I made a verbal comment about your homework. It takes a minute for that to upload. It's converted to an audio file, has to synchronize in the cloud. Okay, now what you will do is at any time of your convenience, you'll have your homework, you'll have marks, you'll have comments, you'll have a grade, and if either I or the grader want to talk to you, I hope this will work. Let's listen. And I can start talking to the student right now, and I can record an audio file, and it's recording whatever it is that I'm saying. Okay, and then in a moment I go up here and I stop, and I have just talked to you. Okay, so there we go. All right, so I encourage you to log into your University Microsoft account, find the OneNote class notebook, start looking at it. Feel free to go to your notebook and add some pages. Feel free to go to course content and start looking around, getting the look and feel of things. And this is what I hope to do, and I appreciate your suggestions. Get a scanner app and put it on your smartphone, and make sure you write clearly on your homework. Probably best to use paper that has a white background rather than colored paper. That will scan better and be easy for us to see. Okay, so I apologize that when I'm using a tablet here, some of the functionality and moving around is a little bit rough, but I hope that you get the idea.